All right, y'all. Let's cleanse the palate. Let's talk about a movie. So the other day I watched a film, Inheritance. This is a film that I watched. So, okay. This is one of those movies that's like, it's so okay that it's honestly, this is hard to even review because it's just so okay. Like, it's not great, but it's not horrible. Right? Like, it's just like, it's a movie to turn on and you watch it and it's like, okay, and then it's over. And you're like, all right. That, it's good. It's not bad. It's not a bad movie. But it's just very okay. So let me describe the plot without spoiling it. So, essentially, there's a rich political family. And, there's like one of the family members, the main character, is a district attorney. One of them is a congressman. And the other one's like a wealthy banker of something, And, so, Putty from Seinfeld, he, after breaking up with Elaine, had a really rough and tumble, and eventually, created an empire of politicians and bankers. And then he dies at the start. And, basically he leaves his family an inheritance, right? He gives his son like $20 million. He gives his daughter $1 million. That's a little, oof. What a fucked up motherfucker, huh? Anyway. But then also, Putty gives his daughter a secret tape. And tells his daughter, like, I wish I could have told you this when I was alive. I wish I would have told you this when I was alive. And tells her that there's like a secret basement somewhere, like in the middle of the woods, like outside the summer home. There's like a secret basement. And like he doesn't give her any details. It's just like, this is a secret that I'm passing to you without any details, right? So she goes to check out this basement. Turns out he's been keeping a prisoner there. That's the movie. Now, this is not the spoiler, because this all happens in like the first 15 minutes. So then the movie is like the daughter trying to figure out why this person has been in prison in like some random bunker basement in the middle of the woods outside the summer home. The guy claims he's been there for 30 years. Right? And then, there's this movie, it feels like they had a good concept. Like, there's a good concept to this movie. But then, like, everything else is just so mediocre, it kind of hurts. Right? Like, I found myself watching this movie. The only thing I cared about were the interactions between the main character, the daughter of David Putty, and the guy in the prison. And everything else, like all the in-between, like the story, like she's apparently working on some big case or whatever in her job. It's all irrelevant. Like all the stuff that, like, oh, she has a fight with her brother in one point. It's all irrelevant. Like, it's just the backstory is just, it feels like filler, right? Like, it feels like it's a movie where the concept, really good concept, but then all the backstory is filler, all the interactions with every other character is filler. It's just a waste of my time. Right, but anyway, but the good parts in this movie are really good, like the interrogation with the prisoner, trying to find out who this person is, why they're in there. And of course, again, like, I'm left wondering, why didn't David Putty wrote a video message, like he recorded a video message that was in the event of his death to be given to his daughter, and only his daughter is allowed to have access to this. So you're making the video message. Why not tell her the scoop, right? Why not say, okay, I've got a person in the basement, and here's why. Right? Because now I'm getting into the spoiler territory. If this sounds interesting, just mute the stream until the picture goes away. So eventually, she talks to the prisoner. The prisoner is like convincing her that, like, it was just like, you know, David Puddy's like weird fetish to like have someone to torture or something. And she lets him go. Then they find out because his mother apparently knew who this person was, apparently. Or her mother, I should say, the main character's mother. The wife of David Puddy. Who died at the beginning of the movie. RIP. And so she knows who this person is. Why didn't she tell the daughter at any point? That's the thing. The backstory for this movie really kind of kills it for me. Right? Like, the twist ending is that the prisoner lied to the daughter the whole time and was actually like a rapist who like raped her mother. And you know, he's actually her father. Whoa! And David Puddy kept him down there because he wanted him to suffer for his crimes for raping his wife or whatever. Why wouldn't you tell the daughter that? Right? Like, why would you withhold that information? The daughter had no idea who this person was and just thought, oh, my dad's crazy until the end of the movie. And then realized, well, I guess my dad still is crazy, but not that crazy. Right? That just seems like you might want to mention why the motherfucker's in the basement. I don't know, man. It kind of tears the whole movie apart. I'm not going to lie. But, like, again, it feels like this movie is, like, a really good concept. Right? It's a really good concept. But then every other part, like, outside of that part where she goes into the bunker basement and, like, talks to the prisoner, every other part just, like, makes those parts worse. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if you were to cut this movie in half or in 2/3 or 1/3 or whatever it would need to be, it might be better. Like if this was a short film, right? And without all that filler garbage, it might be better. But like the backstory really just doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's bizarre. It makes no fucking sense. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, but the concept is good, and that's what I mean. Like, this is an okay movie. It's an okay movie, right? Because the good parts are really good. And, like, again, the psychological torture game, like the mind games between the prisoner and the daughter, that, again, I want to say it's really, really, really good. It's really, really good. It's just that all the other parts of the movie make no sense, right? Like, it's really strange. It's a really fucking strange film. Because it's like, it's so good in some parts, but then other parts are so bad, and it blends together to make this very okay movie. I mean, like, again, you know, I like watching okay movies. I think decent movies, you know, have a place in the world. And that's fine. But, like, this is just really, it's fascinating. Like, again, they take a really good concept, and that the concept is executed really well. Like, it would have made more sense if there was no video message. Like, David Puddy just died randomly, and then, like, she found the basement somehow. Like, looking through his desk and, like, finding, like, a note or something that led her to the basement and then found the prisoner. That would have been better. It makes no sense for David Puddy to film a message saying, in the event that I die, I want to tell you a secret, and then not tell her why this person's in the chains, and it makes no sense, right? So, like, if you were to change a couple parts of this movie, and maybe cut out, like, 20 minutes of filler, it would be really good. It would be really good. Like, if she found, like a note in his room, like, in David Puddy's room, like, in a drawer, right? They're looking through, you know, her father's stuff. She finds something. You know, she keeps it a secret. She goes to look, and oh, my dad's had a prisoner down there, and that's why there's no way to know who it is. And that, like that, I think that single-handedly would have made the movie significantly better. But then also, like, the filler is just like, because like the daughter is like going through her life as like the district attorney, and she has her own family, she has a kid, right? And so there's a lot of scenes where she's in the courtroom, and it's like there's no story there. There's really no story there. It's just kind of like it's I don't know. But again, the good parts in this movie are really good. And I just want to say that like, I'm impressed that the good parts of this movie are so good. But the bad parts of this movie, just, they're strange. They're just bizarre. Like, they make little to no sense in the grand story. And the twist ending is good. But it just, like, again, the setup, I'm so pissed at the setup being, like, so bad. It really is, I struggle. But anyway, worth watching? Oh, I can't answer that question. You know, if you got a job and you can only watch like 2 movies a week, is this worth watching? Probably not. If you like watching movies and you don't really care about quality and you're into watching this just for the good parts and you're fine with the time commitment, maybe, yeah, I'd recommend it. You know, how am I going to recommend a movie to you? You have different... That's why I don't do ratings on this. I don't do any ratings unless it's like Inception. Then I'm going to say it's a perfect movie. It's 11 out of 10. But like there's a few exceptions. But I usually don't do ratings because everyone's got their different way of determining what movie is worth watching. So I like to describe the movie, what I like about it, what I didn't like about it. And if you like have a lot of time to watch movies and you really like watching movies, okay, then maybe check this out. If you only have time to watch a couple movies a week or not even that or whatever, then this is at the bottom of your list. You know, you all have your own priority lists and stuff. So I don't really do ratings. But I will say this movie's good is good and this movie's bad is bad. And I feel like if you were to cut 20 to 30 minutes out of this movie and change the setup, it would actually be a really good movie, I think. I think that the good parts here are really good, and I think that there was something to them. It's just that the rest of the movie was like it's like, you know, you have like a certain kind of budget or a certain kind of like writing team, and you spend all your resources on one part. And then, like, the rest of the movie, like, they all wrote, like, when they had, like, sleep deprivation, like, caused delirium. Like, they spent, like, 4 days straight. The first 3 days, they were writing the good parts. And then they're just really tired, and they're like, how are we gonna... And then that's where the shit comes in. I don't know, man. But it's strange. But anyway, it's a movie. It exists. Check it out. Or don't. It's up to you. Puppy dog, pals. Holy moly.